On the coast of Carabobo, very close to Puerto Cabello and about 20 minutes away by boat, lies one of the most unknown and mysterious islands in Venezuela. Surrounded by lush beauty, sunken ships, lagoons with magical waters, and even legends of pirates who left their mark on the place, this island also has one of the few natural pools with healing waters in Venezuela. Once chosen by the upper class as a vacation spot in its heyday, today it shows a very different reality. Get ready to dive in and discover the secrets of the most unknown island in Venezuela. First time in Puerto Cabello. There's a dock very close to here. That's where I'll catch a small boat to take me to what might be one of the most unknown yet contrasting islands in Venezuela, and where you might witness a phenomenon that's unique in the world. But the thing is, I have no idea how to get transportation to that place. Hi, how do I get to Puerto Cabello? Where can I catch a ride?
You have to take car that takes you to the terminal, and from the terminal you take a small bus.
What I can tell you is that I have absolutely no idea what this boat will be like, and even less what we'll find at this place. We're in Puerto Cabello, the starting point to get to one of the villages called Ganyan. From there, we'll board a small fishing boat, the only way to reach this place. This island is so unknown. One of these small wooden boats should definitely be the right one to take us across the water to the island. And what you see in the background is our beautiful Caribbean Sea. After 20 minutes of a rough ride through the ocean currents, as if they were trying to keep us from arriving, we could finally make out. What would be our destination for the next 8 hours? But how will this people welcome us? Welcome to Isla Larga. Upon finally arriving on this remote island, what I find here is a truly incredible and breathtaking landscape. And I am honestly quite amazed that so very few people in Venezuela actually know anything about it. This place that exists. Right now, this place should be packed with people. But what's going on in Isla Larga? For those who don't know, this island is the main source of income for the coastal communities. Every day, people from nearby towns are brought here to serve the tourists who come to spend the day. Tourists who pay $10 each way to enjoy one of the most untouched beaches in Venezuela. Even though the island doesn't have any permanent residents, it does have a nomadic population that comes and goes every day. Here you'll find a small restaurant, a little security post, restrooms, and even a first aid station. This is another reality of living in Venezuela. Enjoying luxury tourism, but with very little money. Isla Larga isn't just an unknown paradise. It also has one of the most fascinating spots, the famous natural pool, El Arca. It's a remnant of seawater, surrounded by rocks that very few people know exists. And according to locals, it even has healing waters. The challenge is getting there. But first, we had to cross the center of the island to reach the far western tip, the area no tourist dares to visit. I'm not sure if I should keep going this way, but I found this path and I think it should take me to one of the island's lagoons, and that's what I want to find out. As I walked, I came across small abandoned buildings that looked like something out of a horror story. But they reminded me of the forgotten structures you see all over Venezuela, and Isla Larga was no exception to this reality. Along these forgotten paths, I ran into Jose, a man who for years has been like a caretaker of the island, and he told me what life was like in this place. Has it always been like this, or did more people used to come before?
Well, look, back then, as they say, things were really happening.
There was
a time when we were rich, and I hadn't even realized it.
Do foreign tourists come here? Do they really come? What nationalities they come from?
Chinese people come, Russians come, Americans come.
Well, that's what's important, that tourism's picking up again, right? Yes, yes. You never emigrated, did you?
To where? To the north? To Silla? To Peru? Something like that? No, I'll die here.
After filling my mind with Jose's wise words, I decided to continue my journey around the island in search of the famous natural pool that was said to cure any ailment. But first, I headed over to the far other end, where two massive sunken World War II ships were actually located. In 1940, these two ships, one Italian and the other German, were set on fire by their own crews. Later on, they decided to tow them and abandon them at what is now known as Isla Larga. Today, these ships have become the main tourist attraction in the area. What's interesting is that if these ships have contributed anything, it's that they've been transformed into a refuge for the marine life in this place. While I was on my way, I happened to run into a local street vendor who spent his time walking up and down the sandy beach selling delicious fresh mangoes. He told me that on a good day, he could actually make up to $60 just by selling those mangoes to the tourists. I ran into this guy who sells little mangoes. Now check this out. Salted mango, $2. How much do you say you make a day?
Right now, in season, 60, 70, but lately it's gone down.
Okay, on a good day, $60, $70 in one day, and on a normal day, $30.
$40.
Look, so we're about to eat a little mango vinegar. Vinegar, seasoning, what else do you put on it? Just a little bit of that. Well, this is kind of like a fancy cocktail, huh? Oh, look at that. They even have some garlic sauce here. My long search for the legendary Ark of Healing certainly didn't stop there. And I ran into some tourists who told me why they wouldn't trade Venezuela for anything in the world. Is it recommended for tourists to come here? I mean, besides all the beautiful things, the economic side, that stuff. How do you see the prices?
Funny enough, I told him everything was super expensive, and nope, I asked about a bunch of things and I was sensitive about it.
For being on an island.
It's
something.
You have to come and experience for yourself. I mean, live it.
Be.
Here, see it? It's way better.
Then see it. Right.
Wow, Venezuela is incredible. I've never been abroad, and honestly, I don't plan to.
And you don't have any intention to either. The day kept moving along, and I didn't know if I would find the famous natural pool El Arca, but what I did come across was one of the strangest lagoons crowning the center of the island, which, along with an old antenna, were used to hunt amuros, who seemed like the guardians of this place. That reminded me of the stories and legends that are so common in this area. Local fishermen in this area often say that on some dark and foggy nights, you can actually see strange, mysterious lights floating silently above these deep waters. But even to this very day, absolutely no one really knows for sure what they could possibly be or where they come from. But the legends in this place go much further than that. Fishermen say that along the paths of this little island, you can see, thank you. Imagine the weary captain of a grand ship walking slowly along these vast sands, maybe searching for the lost treasure that sank deep with one of his many ships. Other local fishermen I've talked to say it goes even further than that, and that sometimes when they're out working in the dark, deep waters, they can clearly hear mysterious laughter and strange chuckles coming from the water. They firmly insist it's from this famous, legendary captain. After walking for more than 2 hours, we could finally see our final destination, the famous El Aripu, a unique and indescribable place. I want you to see this. Maybe it's the crown jewel of Isla Larga. a huge, crystal clear pool. But when natural was, tell me this isn't beautiful. This is part of what Venezuela is all about. And of course, after walking so much and exploring this beautiful part of the island, I absolutely have to try out the truly magical and refreshing waters of this hidden pool. I never could have imagined I'd be here one day after all this time traveling around Venezuela. I never would have thought a place this incredible even existed. I can't even explain the feeling you get. Honestly, it's amazing. The water's really, really warm. And look, there's absolutely no one else here. Cool, completely to myself. Without a doubt, I can say that Isla Larga is one of Venezuela's most hidden paradises. Sure, maybe it's not the cheapest place, but I really think it's worth coming here at least once in your life to see it. I just realized something. If I'm on this side of the natural pool, it's hot, really hot. But if I take 2 steps over here, it's completely cold. I mean, it's incredible how the whole feel of the water changes in just a few steps. Seriously. I just can't imagine how nature can be so whimsical to create such amazing things like this. And honestly, sometimes I wonder why Venezuela still doesn't have one of the wonders of the world. And the thing is, there are so many incredible places here to discover and explore that, let me tell you, I have to admit, even the vast majority of Venezuelans don't know about them. A lot of Venezuelans don't know their own country. Well, for a lot of reasons, honestly. First, because it's so hard to travel around Venezuela. You know, the economic situation makes it difficult. Being able to get away, being able to see these beautiful places. But there are other factors too. Maybe a lack of interest from many people in discovering the natural wonders we have. Or maybe those times when Venezuela was unsafe, which really traumatized people. Because without a doubt, if there's something you notice these days, it's that a lot fewer people visit the tourist spots than they did years ago. Like back in the 90s, like in the 80s. Well, that's what my parents told me. Because honestly, I'm not that old. But yeah, they told me that back then, whenever Carnival, Holy Week, or December holidays came around, tons of people would look forward to those days so they could grab their car, pack up everything they could from home, and head out to explore. A different place every season. I'll even go further. I remember my mom telling me that when she was really young, they'd wait for the weekend to go anywhere in Venezuela. They'd hit the road on Fridays and come back late Sunday night. It was wild. But just imagine what those times were like when regular Venezuelans, and my family back then was middle class, not wealthy at all, but still, everyone, no matter how little they made, could go on vacation, could go out and enjoy themselves. And what I do remember is that when I was about 8 years old and we were on one of those trips, the lines on the highways were huge. There was a ton of traffic, so many people. And going to one of those places could even be kind of traumatic because of how much tourism there was at the time. Well, honestly, maybe the trauma is different now. These days, going to those places isn't as crowded. It's not as overwhelming in that sense, but rather, now the trauma's more about your wallet, but hey, I guess everything in life definitely comes at a price. After finally seeing the natural pools, taking a good swim, and soaking up all that good energy, we were hungry. So we headed back to the tourist beach where our journey had started. With a clear goal in mind, to try the local seafood delicacies they were selling there for a few bucks.
You've got plates like this, they go for 10, 15, or 20. You can customize the plate however you like.
Well, honestly, when I look around, I realize a lot of people are right. Because as I've seen during our walk, there are plenty of people who aren't in the designated areas, but instead just grab some shade under the bushes or these little trees. Because, well, just imagine paying for a canopy, which costs $20. Sure, it's good for 4 people, but if you didn't bring food and want to eat something, you've already seen the prices for things like shrimp and all that. $10, $15, even up to $20. Not everyone can afford that. Of course, you have to keep in mind that they bring all this stuff over from the mainland to the island, but what really impresses me, maybe, is the price of the food plates. I thought they were $10, but it looks like they've gone up a bit. Anyway, I'll wait to see the fish dish I ordered, and then we'll see if it's worth it or not. Finally, our little fish that we ordered arrived. It took quite a while, honestly. It took about half an hour, but look, it was worth it. Check this out. However, I'm not sure how many tostones there are. I think there are 3. 8 big tostones. Look how delicious, loaded with cheese. And the fish is really tasty, served even with little arepas, and they give you a lime too. Well, obviously, to eat fish, we're gonna add some lime. I hope this time it's not dry, because it always happens that they're dry. But hey, look, this one does have a bit of lime, not a lot, but it has some. And of course, coming to an island in Venezuela and not trying these delicacies we have here, it's like you never even came. Let's give it a try. Enjoy your meal. Delicious, really did. It's one of those things. I always say it's worth traveling around Venezuela when you get to taste food this good. After recharging our energy, the afternoon was coming to an end, and it was time to start heading back. Isla Larga has been more than just an unknown destination. Isla Larga is the essence of Venezuelans who get up every morning and cross the roughest seas to work and give themselves and their families a better future. I'm leaving this little island, but I'm taking with me the most important memory, that together, nothing is impossible.